What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. We're starting with something lighter here because we're going to get heavy into it with the Megatins. But first, a What's Good YouTube shirt. First edition. Yeah, first edition. Even you can see it on there. And on the front, the classic John Gasm. You can wear that with pride at all your regionals and ARGs. Be sure to pick yours up. It's only $19.95, and with only 100 copies of this shirt that will be sold, it's sure to go pretty fast. I'll link that down below. But what you guys came here for besides the merch plug? The Megatins are here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles is already sold out of Evenly Matched, but there's a huge word of caution coming out today. The ratios for USA and Europe are completely different. And I don't know how else to put this other than it's pretty crazy. It reminds me of Legendary Collection Kaiba, where we had just different ratios out the bat and things were happening. And this time, instead of better for EU than US, it seems the opposite. So let's look at Junk's Playground ratios here. This is a breakdown of their ratios from yesterday by their 75 cases. So this is the pull per case, every 12 Megatins opened, right? So I have similarly Trollin Toads, and you see a huge difference here. Now, they're not in the same order, but what you might notice from the EU polls, it gravitates towards 1.1/1.2 or 1.7/1.8, where in the US polls, it completely just evens out and goes up the chart. Now, there's very similar pull rates, but then we look at something like Borlo Dragon, and it's 1.4 per case. And like we talked about, this is a smaller amount per case when you're spending. It's only $240 for a case retail, whereas a regular case of boxes for any set like Shadows in Valhalla or a core set would be $720. So you have to do a X3 multiplier for both cost and quantities to really compare it to a core set. So what does this mean? Well, there's going to be way more bore loads in the US, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles actually had a worse ratio for bore load, I'm being told, than even Junk's Playground. So we come over to Trollin Toad for some pricing, and you're actually able to see just the insane difference. $20 for bore loads over here in the US versus, this is in US dollar, $30 for the bore loads. I get something from this code down below. I don't get anything from showing you Trollin Toad, even though they're a sponsor. They sponsor the Zodiac tournaments and Zodiac stream. Here I'm showing you, they're freaking killing it. I'm pretty sure they're some of the cheapest evenly matched on market as well. Although Borload might already be cheaper on TCG Player because of what's happening, people getting their stuff and opening it. Yeah, evenly matched at $20 I think is actually going to beat, yeah, they're winning on evenly matched over at Trollin Toad, but not on Borload. Borload's already just going down as people are ripping open the USA cases and are able to sell them. And there's only 3 prices here on TCG Player. This is the one product of the year where TCG Player is likely to be cheapest first, as we take a look at eBay, $17 versus the, you know, it's still 17, but it's a little cheaper over on eBay. So we're going to see this kind of difference happen, right? Where TCG Player for the first time of the year might end up winning out overall because there's so many single vendors that are going to come out and compete. But right now you see a lot of top rated stores in the names because they got their product first and are likely ripping it open and seeing what they can sell. Electromite is another huge difference when we look at these ratios, right? We actually come over to Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, and it's not that short. It's 1.4 over in the US, whereas in the EU it's 1.13, one of the shorter pulls in the entire set. This is pretty crazy. Hey Trunade at 1.1 in EU. It's 1.7 in the US. You can go ahead and pause and kind of look through here, but another point I want to make is there are crazy amounts of like singular pulls out of clumps of tins. Like one tin will, or one, not tins, cases. So one case will seem to have pretty much a bunch of certain pulls where another case will be completely missing it. And we go through like clumps of cases by Phoenix Flare X. He actually opened these for his store. Amazing tuber, really down to earth guy. And here's his report from opening from his store. 3 Saryuja and 3 Borload in his first 100 packs. In the second 100 packs opened, 0 Borload. So there's just this huge difference depending on the packs. There's these clumps, and there can be just these biggest differences. You look, 6 Vendread Reorigins versus 2. So these cases have crazy variance, but when you even it out on an entire pool, you actually see from Troll and Toad, there is a difference lining down very oddly through the US. But then in the EU, there's like these 2 camps of 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.74/1.8. So shopping around, it's looking a little better. Now, Firewall's still pretty short at 1.1. Evenly Matched is pretty short at 1.2. But then Borreload is this huge relief. Now, Evenly Matched is what you're searching for 3 of, and probably why it sold out on Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles pre-orders, but we do already see that people are trying to do what I said initially. They're going to try to get the cost of a 10 back to the player, $20, and that's where Evenly Matched has landed, and Borreload already starting to go lower. So, looking through these, like, it's pretty crazy. We do see Troll trying to get that $20 pre-order on Evenly Matched, and that seems to be a relatively good deal, speaking from the market that completely bought Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles out of their Evenly Matched. I'm not happy that there's a difference in ratio. I did put that asterisk before. We'll have to see the US ratio pulls. We'll have to see what happens. I am happier that it's better, but it still sucks for the EU players, the EU player base that's looking over here at that. But then again, for Legendary Collection Kaiba, EU got the hand traps overall easier besides Ash Blossom. So how do I feel about this? I don't really know. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles does still have reasons for you to come on over and check them out on their pre-sale prices, some certain cheaper cards, but still overall, I feel like after seeing these ratios, it might be better to hold off just a little and see as people compete and clash heads and more prices come on the market where they're actually going to fall. I'm a huge supporter of Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. They support me, they help the channel, they help the community, but I might take a moment to say, hey, what are things really gonna fall at? Even though, like, they have Saryuja, I believe. I haven't actually seen Troll and Toad Saryuja, so let's kind of try to look that up. I have no clue where it's gonna land. Yeah, there's so many commons in the set, it's insane. We got the 8. I really want to see what they're selling it for. Saryuja, $15. So yeah, see, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles is winning on Saryuja, and then you get the 15% off here. Is it beating TCG Player 2? Yes, by far. So obviously, still reasons to come over here, but at the same time, my practical advice is wait for a lot of heads to clash and butt, people to panic sell, people to just try to make that guaranteed range back and look at the cards they have and be like, okay, there's the profit. That's going to be happening a lot with this set. So if you just want to guarantee something at the current lowest prices, Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles will have that in several places. Like Firewall, it's still cheaper by a bit, but a lot of TCG player prices are going to quickly match this, whereas usually it will take a week or two. So that's where I rest on it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles allows me to say anything, and that's my advice. I would personally wait, but you do see people rushed for it, and they paid a little bit more than was available on market here, and at Troll and Toad, actually, and then very close to what was on market here, and with the 5% off, I guess, towards that, right? Like, it's barely lower. People are trying to hit the line. They basically looked at these prices, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles usually so good at placing them, and tried to copy them, but again, the ratios are going to be completely off. So that's where I'm at with the Megatins. Hopefully, I won't have to cover this for another week. Maybe I'll do a discussion. The 24-hour stream is actually tomorrow, Friday, if you didn't know. So from noon central till, from Friday, noon central, until Saturday, noon central, if you want to join. Yeah, double plug. Not only the merch, but I'm going to show you what we're actually giving away during this. Let's go to scene 2 here, full cam. I've got a lot of awesome stuff to actually give away to you guys. We got a Yugi figure straight from Japan. We've got a Clayman figure. We've got the Blue Eyes alternative Rebel Tech that I actually showed off in a market watch that is now 160 on the secondary market. We've got a limited 1 of 12 gem playmat if we hit a stretch goal. We're going to be giving that away. And it's Kagari X the Nightmares, I believe. So that's also really awesome. And there were only 12 of these printed. And then a 1 of 5 signed by the owner prototype of the Exodia obelisk mat. A lot of people wanted me to show these off in the Discord for what they could be winning during the stream. This material is amazing. You see that it is actually promo print 1 out of 5, no stitched edge, signed by the owner himself. So the last prototype I had that I actually sold on eBay sold for over 500. That's a pretty awesome stretch goal prize as well. We've got a box of the Shining Darkness. Basically, this is a big ass giveaway, if you didn't notice. And a prototype, actually, Metamat, with the water-resistant back. I actually really want to keep this, but I promised it. And we got water-resistant front as well. This kind of material that I've never felt on a back, and it's really nice. So this zoned Metamat will also be given away, all during the 24-hour stream. We'll also have free giveaways that are Troll and Toad credit, as they support the Zodiac stream. And we'll also be giving away Yu-Gi-Oh! Single store credit. And there will be free giveaways. Yes, you can win just by being there. So really awesome stuff. Oops, black screen. Really awesome stuff for you guys. And I'm really happy to be able to take things out of my hand and give it to you guys that do support the channel, just even by being there. But 24-hour stream, merch, Megatins, what do you think about it all? If you enjoyed the conversation, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think down below, even if you disagree. And subscribe if you haven't already. These ratios, they're so crazy how they just line up for the US, but the EU ones have just those 2 spots. It's really crazy.